What's going on?
Somebody looks dead on my flag. Oh my God, it's my cousin's daughter. I need an ambulance.
Let me get you order medical. Stay on the line.
Oh God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Get everybody out. There's a girl dead on my floor.
Honey, is she breathing?
No, she isn't. She's cold. Oh my God.
She's cold as cut?
She's cold.
Okay, do you want to start CPR?
Her fingers are blue.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 16, 17. And her mom just drove up here and she's dead.
Okay, hon, we're going to get them coming, okay?
Oh my God, okay.
Before we step inside the pitch-black house at the center of tonight's story, I need you to listen to something. What you are about to hear is not a script from a Hollywood slasher film. It is real audio, recorded on a handheld camcorder by two 16-year-old boys. They are sitting in the front seat of a car, hiding in the dark, just moments before they step out into the night to commit an unspeakable act of violence. Listen to the twisted excitement in their voices.
So we're gonna fucking kill her and her friends, and we're gonna keep moving on. I heard some news about Kirsten. She's gonna be home alone from 6 to 7, so we might kill her, then drive over to Cassie's thing and scare the shit out of them, then kill them one by fucking one.
Those are the voices of Brian Draper and Torey Adamcik. They aren't hardened hitmen. They aren't criminal masterminds. They are delusional teenagers playing a deadly game of dress-up. And the person they are driving toward is their friend. Welcome to the tragic, infuriating story of the Whispering Cliffs murder. A case where the safety of a quiet Idaho neighborhood was shattered and an innocent girl was betrayed by the very classmates she welcomed into her home. Her name was Cassie Jo Stoddart. And before we talk about what was taken from her, we need to talk about who she was. Cassie was 16 years old. She was a bright, responsible, and fiercely loved high school junior. She was the kind of girl who was trusted by her family to do the important things, which is exactly why her aunt and uncle asked her to house-sit their beautiful, sprawling home in the Whispering Cliffs neighborhood of Pocatello, Idaho, on the weekend of September 22nd, 2006. It was supposed to be a quiet weekend. Cassie invited her boyfriend, Matt, over to watch movies and hang out, but Brian Draper and Torey Adamcik had other plans. For weeks, these two had been feeding each other's darkest fantasies. They were obsessed with serial killers and the movie Scream. They didn't just want to watch horror. Their arrogance convinced them they could create it. But to bring their sick fantasy to life, they needed supplies. Because they were underage, they couldn't buy the murder weapons themselves. So they manipulated an 18-year-old friend, Joe Lucero, into going to a local pawn shop for them. You can actually watch the exact moment these cowardly thrill-seekers secured their weapons. Armed with serrated hunting knives and dark clothing, Brian and Torey put their plan into motion. It's Friday night. Cassie and Matt are hanging out in the living room. Brian and Torey drop by to chill. They act totally normal. They laugh, they talk. But while Cassie isn't looking, one of the boys slips away and quietly unlocks the basement door. It is the ultimate, unthinkable betrayal. Brian and Torey leave the house, claiming they're going to a movie. Later that night, Cassie's boyfriend Matt gets picked up by his mom, and suddenly, Cassie is alone. The house at Whispering Cliffs sits near the edge of a rugged canyon. It is large, isolated, and extremely quiet. Cassie is upstairs. Then, outside in the dark, Brian and Torey return. They slip through the unlocked basement door. They find the circuit breaker, and they cut the power. Imagine being 16 years old in a massive, unfamiliar house. As every light goes dead, the dogs start barking frantically. You try to call your boyfriend, but the service is spotty. You sit in the dark, waiting for the lights to come back on. You have no idea that two boys wearing dark clothes and painted masks are creeping up the stairs. Out of respect for Cassie, we are not going to detail the horrific violence of the attack itself. Cassie fought for her life, but the ambush was overwhelming. She was brutally murdered in that living room. The two boys fled into the night, high on adrenaline and their own sick delusion. As they drove away from the house, leaving their friend behind, they turned the camcorder back on. They wanted to document their glory. Instead, they recorded a chilling confession of their own cowardice. "I just killed Cassie." They said it like they had just won a game. They thought they had committed the perfect crime. They believed they were untouchable masterminds. They were wrong. They were sloppy, arrogant amateurs. When Cassie's family discovered her body on Sunday, it didn't take long for the police to trace the timeline back to the boys who had visited her that Friday night. When investigators pressed them, their fragile alibis shattered immediately. They turned on each other, pointing fingers, proving just how spineless they really were. But the final nail in their coffin was what police found buried out at Black Rock Canyon. Brian and Torey had tried to hide their murder kit. They buried it in the dirt, assuming it would stay hidden forever. But law enforcement dug it right up, and looking at what came out of the ground reveals the pathetic theatrical reality of these killers. There it was, the cheap painted masks, the serrated knives, a bottle of hydrogen peroxide they foolishly thought would melt away the blood, and the most damning piece of all, the Sony videotape, the very tape where they had eagerly confessed to the world. They handed the police the murder weapons, the motive, and a videotaped confession, all wrapped in a neat little package out in Black Rock Canyon. Brian Draper and Torey Adamcik wanted to be infamous. They wanted to be legends. Instead, they were tried as adults, convicted of first-degree murder, and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. They traded their entire lives and stole a beautiful one for a fleeting, pathetic fantasy. Today, they sit in separate cells in Idaho, forgotten by the world they tried to terrify. But Cassie Jo Stoddart is not forgotten. She is remembered by her family, her friends, and by us, not for the dark night she endured, but for the bright, loving, and beautiful light she brought into the world.
Yep. People will die. The memories will fade.
Memories will fade. I wonder what movie you got that from, Brian.
Myself. That was myself.
No wonder it was so lame.
Okay, we're on our way, and I'll let you stay tuned. We're almost there. Dixon's house. It's clear out there in the pasture. We've already snooped around her house a couple times. She's not home, so we're gonna go to the church over there, and we're gonna call a girl and a guy named Cassie and Matt. They're our friends, but we have to make sacrifices. So I feel tonight it is the night, and I feel really weird. It's having stomach and stuff, and I feel like I want to kill somebody. I know that's not normal, but what the hell?
I feel we need to break away from normal life.
How bright is this light?
Because, let's say it this way. Parents, along with their parents, and so on, taught them about God, Jesus, the whole bullshit line. I'm sure you guys believe in